Hello and welcome back to Tyranny. I am Quade. Before I get started, I wanted to apologize for last time. I had some stuff set up on my recording software that limited my record times. Kind of same problem as the first episode, only I was recording up to actually a little past an hour. So I've now bumped it up to the maximum allowable, which is 2 hours. I don't intend to have episodes that are 2 hours long. I typically want to complete at about an hour for a game like this, whereas other games like Skyrim maybe would be a half-hour play. Yeah, so sorry, it cut off just as I completed the final, enemy, and the Earthshaker mages moved the boulder out of the way. So it's pretty obviously what happened, right? I rescued them, and they're now going to be able to aid in the offensive. Most of what we learned is that their numbers are kind of pretty heavily damaged, both through fighting, but also because a lot of them were killed when their Archon, Cairn, was destroyed with the Edict of Stone, which we were instrumental in creating. They also don't like me very much for that, even though their guy went rogue. So we've stopped by the Scarlet Chorus camp. We're going to see if we can also help with their, their attack, and that way we maybe get both sides functioning as well as possible for the attack. However, we are down to 7 days before the edict is cast and everybody in the valley dies, so the clock is still ticking. All right. Let's continue on. Here we are here. Come on in, guys. Yeah, I got my gamma situation figured out, so it's a little brighter. I can actually see at night. Let's see what's going on over here. Another step, I'll pin your foot in the dirt. It's ridiculous. We have bigger problems here. So what's the problem? It proves everything. The warrior slams her fists together in a resounding clap. Like, for instance, whether you're fit to lead that flock of children. Behind her, members of the gang posture with weapons at the ready. Yeah, they sure do. Look, this guy's weapon out. Did you hear the news of the edict? This is a foolish distraction. We ought to be saving our fighting for the enemy. Chorus warrior looks to his gang, giving him a quick nod. So I'm guessing what's happening here is that people are challenging each other to the leadership of their group. My thinking is that I should probably just let this play out, because that's how the Scarlet Chorus function, right? They don't have a strict leadership. Basically, if you can command the most people, whether because you kill your opponents or people just want to follow you, then you get to be in command. I'm going to choose to say nothing, see how this plays out. And with the next battle being so important, all the more reason your warrior should follow me when the time comes. She shifts a lock of her hair away from her face with a bronze dagger, smiling wickedly as the blade hovers close to her eyes. It seems we have no other way about it. With a nod to his gang, he readies his weapons. Oh, nice, so I could wager on the fight. I'm gonna walk away. I just don't think that I need to become involved in this. It's just not my problem. I will, however, loot their bodies. See what I get. Some light bracers, leather, barrier. Oh, a poultice. I can't be used. I have to get some spare parts. Alright. Cool. Okay, exit. This camp is here in the ruins of this fort. Ahoy there. These chorus grounds are... State your business. Alright, fine. I'm Fatebinder of Turon. I'm here to help vanquish the Oathbreakers. There we go. You know, I think I was told to expect somebody, but you seem too ugly to be him. Her lips crumple into a smirk. Why exactly should I let you in? You dolt. This is the Fatebinder. He's been with us since the damn start. Even shed blood at the gates of judgment. Fucking new fish. Start learning names and faces, or find someone work as someone's moving target. Alright, and that's just talking about how the Gates of Judgment was my first major battle, which is also the initiation of this whole conquest. I'm terribly sorry. Please come right in. Alright, so, you have a reputation for yourself based on what's been going on. Now, what I need to do is find, what's it called, like the 5 hands or something? Let's go take a look at that. Scroll. I need more lore, which I don't have. in order to know what it's all about. Where is it? This is the guy. Fifth Eye, that's his name. Let's see who else is around here, though. Nobody really to talk to. I'm hoping they have maybe like a merchant of some kind. But look who we have here, chewing on some manner of cud. A heavy-set soldier flings spittle and crumbs as he talks. The Fate Binder actually shows himself. I'm Reg, the second soldier chimes in. This is Baz. We were wondering when you might pay camp a visit. The Fifth Eye has been a little starved for attention. He ordered us to watch you like a troublesome babe. Make sure you don't get out of line. Baz lets her fingers together, joints crackling as she smiles. Something like that. If you have questions, ask us. Good luck finding anyone else in camp who will give you answers or even a smile. Alright, so that's fine. You know, we have a similar pairing over at the disfavored camp. So, I don't know, I'm guessing we'll eventually have to decide which of these folks to bring with us. Farewell. I'm not interested in too much discussion just yet. So yeah, let's see if we can get some weapons, armor, all those good things. What is this? Bent bronze sword. Whatever. Oh, it's locked. Alright, can't go in there. Pardon me. It's that time of year. I don't know if these guys ever really
I'd say that's worth a second glance.
Oh. Can you unlock? No. And a shattered glass weapon. So these aren't really that useful, but I can at least sell stuff, make a little income on the side. Nobody else here really to talk to. Let's see what Death Knell says. Hey, Death Knell. You. As much an accusation as a question, the broad-shouldered woman shakes her head with a scowl. So you're Tunon's Fate Binder. I was expecting something more impressive. She bows in spite of her misgivings. Death Knell, Scarlet Fury. My time is yours for as long as it amuses me. Let's get one thing clear. Stick to your words and law. Leave the fighting to the grown adults. Your corpse would just be a tripping hazard for those of us having a proper carnage sport. We've got enough useless twats dying for our name as it is. All our Horde recruits seem good for. Ah, man, so... it's a little bitter. But that's kind of how the Horde works, right? There's not that many veterans among them. They mostly win just through absurd numbers. Because they're constantly conscripting and throwing, you know, their defeated enemies into battle on their behalf. Yeah, let's talk about, said something about the Horde thinning. Yeah, swelling until it's thundering, then crashing and receding. It's been the way of the Scarlet Chorus for as long as I've been in it. We take our prisoners alive, give them a chance yet to live, to be reborn into something better. Putting any and every able body to the sword, like the disfavored do, is nothing but a waste. A conquered enemy is but a new ally. It merely requires the proper coercion. Of course, we do sometimes have the problem of lingering loyalties. Deserters are rarely successful in their escape, but they do try. And the Vendrian Guards, strengthened by their numerous blood ties, have been particularly stubborn. So I have a better plan hatched. Oh, interesting, okay. Yeah, so what's that? I think we redouble our efforts to recruit settlers, focusing on the unaligned and unsuspecting, instead of flushing ourselves to the gills with oathbreakers claimed from the battlefield. Fine, how do you do that? A knife point has sufficed well enough in the past, but you've inspired me to try a more diplomatic approach this day. What do you say, Binder? You might be able to ease them into the idea, save the lives of their friends and neighbors in the process. Yeah, ticking clock, this is a little bit of a chore, but I think anything that grows their numbers is going to be useful. And I think also, you know, while I want to end the conflict as quickly as possible, I also want to end it successfully. So yeah, if it helps the end, I can do that. Remote settlement is now unlocked, right? My methods are surefire. You'll see. I'll mark the settlement on your map. I can't wait to see the outcome. Alright. She grins. I also wonder if maybe there isn't a bit of, like, she's trying to just send us into, you know, a hostile situation to die. So we'll see how it goes. I think that's good enough. Who are these? Let's talk to these prisoners. Filthy mongrels. Fifth, I must authorize all prisoner visits. Okay, that's fine. Okay, remote settlement. Let's go take a look. Oh, right. I always forget I can't just fast travel straight from the map. Hey, loot. Jeez. Let's go. Thing is, like, I'm supposed to have those guys who help keep us alive, and at the same time, they don't come with me. It's just me and... oh, what's her name? Now I forget. Verse. Oh, I need to get her healed. Because she is wounded, took a little bit of health damage. Now, what we learned last time is that you can pull enemies if you stay out of sight range. They'll only take the ones that you can visibly see. I don't see anyone around yet. This is...
sorry, I can't.
dangerous situation. I'm not careful with how I'm scouting. Okay, looks like there's a settlement over here. But let's head up top. I don't see anybody over here either. Oh, here we go. Cutscene. As you step into the center of the village, you feel as if you are being watched from all angles. The distant patter of feet echo off the walls of the small, seemingly deserted village. Yeah, I'll probably take the formal route, right? Fatebinder Quade, I come to discuss your conscription into the Scarlet Chorus, and you won't die. That's pretty straightforward. Yeah. The wooden beams on the rooftop north creaks under someone's weight. A tree rustles behind you. If you wish to hide in your homes, I'm happy to burn this place to the ground. I've come to offer you redemption. I'm going to do my best to try and save you all. Feel free to help me with that endeavor, right? So I'm gonna choose the wordier route. A voice bellows from the rooftop with a cackle. Go home to your overlord. Looks like we've got some combat. Archer, so the guard is here. Sorry, friend, but you won't be leaving here in one piece. We'll send your head back north. I want your folks to see what happens to those who invade our lands.
To battle!
So we've got some combat here. First, let's go ahead and get your fire arrow. She got her roll out. Yeah, she does. Alright, I'm going to do a sunder on this guy. We'll take out this big guy with his weapon first, even though this one's kind of flanked behind me, and then I'll reposition. The archer might be an issue, so I may end up sending Verse up there to kind of handle it on her own.
Not a problem, boss.
Good, okay, he's sundered. Thrust. And then, that's probably good enough. Verse can keep shooting. She's in combat, so let's switch to your
Got it.
swords. Good. Alright, let's cleave this jerk. I have to keep clicking.
You got
it. Does
it.
seem like they, go take Alright, while she's fighting. So I need to be better about, I think, stacking up my commands, so let's do this. Okay, so hold shift while I'm doing it, and I should be able to get them both on there. Meanwhile, Verse is down here. He's doing fine, but you can't use Blood-Soaked Stone. 1,000 strikes, so my armor is sundered. Yeah.
Not a problem, boss.
Thrust.
I'll tear your skeleton out by your ass!
Did I always have this much blood?
Let's check out those warriors. Here comes the Scarlet Chorus. So we killed all their potential prisoners. Not bad. I've piled up the same number of corpses in half the sword strokes, but where are my manners? Why not criticize the help so generously given? You've my deepest, sincerest gratitude for gutting those Vendran piss ants in my place. Yeah, so kind of was expecting a little bit of a betrayal, right? That she just didn't want to go and fight these guys. How can you be so damn pleased? These people are dead. That's conscripts that won't be joining you. We already got what we needed. The willing ones. She pointed to several of the armed fighters at her side. We were hoping a different face might convince the remainder to join us, but alas, you can't win them all, can you? I'm not going to fight her, right? This is not the point. Huh. Ah, yet I seem to have killed all your would-be conscripts. Sorry. Yeah, these things happen. Look, you've done us a favor. It was a real pleasure watching you fight. We'll clean up here. I do thank you for the assist, Fate. So, let's check for some loots. Hey, lots of loot. Oh, she's leveled up. Alright, her skills... Let's see, because she's got... Resolve. Just going to give you... Yeah, that's useful. She's only got 1 point. But what's going to help her bow the most? Yeah, accuracy probably would be up here. Finesse. That's useful. I'm going to bring this up to 10, though. Does she have points? Yeah. So I want to improve her ranged stuff. Or she's only spent 1. She doesn't have any free. Eternal Flame, so that sets them on fire much longer than Burning Iron. I like that. What else does she have, though? Piercing Arrows, so more armor pen. She can dodge more. Move more slowly. That's not bad either. That might be next. Okay. She's leveled up. I am wounded. A little bit of health damage there. Let's check all this stuff in camp real quick. Well, at the very least, we've succeeded in helping them capture the outer territories a little bit, so that's nice. And they earn a little bit of loyalty. Oh, bronze vaults. Not bad. It's about the same DPS. Accuracy and recovery are better. But yeah, we can... I don't think I'll take it just yet. I still like the big maul, the big war mace. Oh, mead.
Right.
+1 might for all day long. Alright. Let's gather our party and head out. So we can go back to the Scarlet Chorus camp and I'll help them clear the valley, I guess. I mean, I've done one quest chain with each camp, so I'm not sure if I should go to the Disfavored. Let's go to the Disfavored. They're closest. And I'll help them with their task first. So we've got the Earthshakers back. And that should help us with our breaking down the walls. Checking everything while I can. Hey, there's the Earthshakers are in here now. Nice. Shielded stone helm, heavy armor. I'm in. Alright. Hide. Yeah, as nice as that is. Inventory. Put that on my head. Yeah, take a look at that. While I'm at it, let's double check other things. We're kind of medium low on health potions. I might sell things. Let's see something you like. Yeah, let's take a look at your wares. Alright, so I'm gonna sell that. Actually, no, I'll keep that because that's like a quest related thing. But let's take a look at our stash here. Okay, sell the falks. I already have heavy bronze greaves that I'm wearing. Keep that, keep that, keep that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep all my Fatebinder armor, even if it's not 100% like the most awesome. Vitality, wits. Yeah, I'll sell all this extra junk. Glass vial, bent sword, or bracers. They are an improvement. Deflection, recovery, precision, unarmed. Let's put those in my inventory. I'll change those. Earthshaker hood. Deflection, accuracy, recovery. Nah. Sell that. Poultice is broken. The cloth I don't need. Watch all this be like really instrumental crafting material later on down the road. Staff I can't use. I do not have enough lore to use a scroll. Yeah, I don't really want the cloth because none of my people are mages. I keep the mead, head wrap, don't care. Like, she needs some leather and I need like heavy armor. Sky cap. Oh, that gives me more width. Potion of invisibility, which I already have. Can I stack those? Yeah. It's good to know. Cheese. Elemental barrier might be useful. I haven't fought significant magic users yet. Nice, so if I'm about to die, I should do Awakened Death. I'll put that on my... Alright, so trade. Gives me some money. Anything I need here? I don't think so. I have a Warhammer, which is still better than... I have a War Mace, which is better than Warhammer. The only thing I might do is buy some healing potions. Buy all of those. Good. Switching between party members. Tiny bit tedious, but not the worst. What is this? Rhoda. No time to chitter. Too much armor to mend. Speak to Uncle Pentabor for trade. Got it. Except they didn't really even have any armor. Look at this. Watch yourself, Fatebinder. Alright. So got the mages in here. Check this barrel. More crap that I don't need. Can't win them all. Double check Lucia. I don't think there's anything to do. I think I just have to pick a side and help them out. Welcome back. Lucia here was just mentioning that. Only because you asked. You've been a real asset to the disfavored ever since you arrived. Not that anyone expected any different. Could use some training. What do they train in? I guess I'm going to break up the monotony of this siege. Oh, wow. Train in athletics, and it costs some money. Oh, hell, let's train up. Nice. Yeah, perfect. Alright. Hold on. What's the other one train in? Marcus. I could have done some weapons training. That's too bad. Well, that's okay. Athletics and dodge are nice, and I'll get those for, what's her name, too? Verse. Alright, Lucia. Yeah. I think that's a worthwhile expenditure, especially in the early game where you can't really do anything. Athletics, dodge, all that good stuff. Let's go talk to this prisoner. It's all your fault, Kuros, dog. Yeah. So I'm guessing prisoners are going to become part of the game before long. Oh, good, that's good. Nobody over here worth talking to, I think. So, yeah, let's go loot that weapon rack. Warren Shortbow versus the Red Rivers. Yeah, not as good. Oh, that's her. Hold on. Put your bow on.
You got it.
Now let's check it. Alright. It's identical. So it's for selling. Barrack. What's going on?
Right.
Stares at me. Okay, let's talk to, see, there's our head of Hellspar, who's now head of the Earthbinders. With all due respect, our cohorts have proven themselves against these Apex fools time and again. What can you Earthshakers do other than get in the way? Look, I don't want to be here, Severus. Sorry. And my orders don't involve proving our value to you. If the Great General doesn't want magic on his side, then he can order us to stand down and sit this one out. I don't question what you and your mages bring to the table, Hellspar, but I have my reservations about your leaders. Why couldn't Radix show up to the siege himself? He has more pressing issues than the state of conquest I'd like to hear about from his mouth. Yeah, and that does stink, because Radix is their leader, and he sent a party ahead while he himself didn't come into the valley. Maybe Radix knew that the edict was coming, though. He could probably have guessed it. He's not inclined to help, perhaps a next of kin. I hate to upset the chain of command during time of war. Perhaps Radix's brother can convince him to remember his duty, Fatebinder. I thank you for the part you played. You didn't have to risk yourself, but you did so all the same. Right, so I turned in that quest, basically. Let's double check my log here. So, that's the main thing, but I also have taking the Outer Valley, which is the Fifth Eye, and then the Way of the Horde, I have to go back to Death Knell, and confront her about the battle, I guess. So, let's do that before we move on and complete that quest. Time though. Day 19, moving into the evening. Nice. Rotting body, spirit on a Scarlet Chorus, war paint. Oh, wow, okay, so they had skewered one of their own on a pike. Of course they did. Alright, Death Knell. Where is Death Knell? Oh, that. Fatebinder. What do you need? Yeah, I'm not gonna punch her, because that's, yeah. You have my gratitude for rooting out the Oathbreakers. Oh, come on now. Don't take it personally, Binder. I knew a fighter like you could hold your own against grim odds. I knew it the moment I laid eyes on her. You knowingly put a member of Tunon's court in danger. I assure you this is no laughing matter. Reminded of how humorless the Fatebinders can be. Oh, cool. So I got some weapons. I'll have to look at those. You expect me to just trust you and take your scrap metal as a compliment? Okay, I just got some extra money out of her. That's great. If I've wronged the pride of Tunon's court as severely as it would seem, then take all these as well. She gives me this bag of spoils. Alright, that mission's done. Who's their quartermaster? Salvaros. And you'd like to report noticing something unusual? Oh, I hope there's not just an endless number of quests, because I'm gonna run out of time. What about the course isn't unusual in the army? Oh, right, because this is a disfavored guy. No, the Screamers are mostly in order. And I haven't been spying, if that's what you're implying. Of course, even if I was, it'd be damn near impossible to learn anything from this shit sty. Fifth Eye and those damn Furies don't even loop me in enough for me to do my detail. And it's not for lack of trying on my part. What do you mean? Well, I'm not just here to keep a steady eye on the Oathbreakers, who they give far too much freedom after conscripting. I'm here to be a resource for the benefit of both armies. I can provide much insight regarding the proper stratagem and request a stock of troops from the Iron Marshal for reinforcements. They won't listen to me nor confide in me. Alright, very well. Let's see about Pileus. Hey, look alive, soldier. This place eats the weak. That'd be funny. He's nervous in some way. Something wrong? Opens his mouth, doesn't speak. Captain, I'm not supposed to be here. His voice comes in a harsh, ragged whisper. New to the chorus. Captain is a southern term. Chorus armies have commanders, and I'm neither. I shouldn't be here. The chorus, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm not like these people. He looks out at the camp. I'm gonna die here. Or at least I hope I die, and soon. And to think He falls silent, his body slumps. I kind of am interested in knowing why he thinks it's a mistake. No, but I was forced to take the vow. They slew my pa right in front of his pa. And then told me, I forgot pa's axe. And then told me I was next if I didn't join the chorus. I've never served the village watch. I didn't even know what it would be. I didn't know it would be like this. Never served in the watch. How old are you? I was born in 418. It makes me... He lifts up his fingers to count. Seems entirely to act. He trails off mumbling incoherently. Yeah, okay, you've made a vow to the Archon. Only death will release you. In that case, he puffs up his chest and his face becomes red. I ask you to release me from my vow. No, you're stuck. It's too late. We need every warm body. At the very least, you can, take an arrow for some better warrior. I should have let them kill me when they first got hold of me. I'm not like these people. Getting kicked makes me vomit. Tasting blood makes me vomit. And even vomiting makes me vomit. I'll never last. Alright, well, I'm going to give you some pointers. Pointers, Captain? What sort? Strike him playfully at first. Come on. Raise your fist. Defend yourself. I'll show you how to survive. Maybe later how to kill. I think I'd rather him know how to fight than teach him how to, essentially not be noticed for being a weakling. Alright, he takes the hit first, but manages to avoid the next, deaf despite his gangliness and timidity. Best if I don't cap Master Fatebinder. He ducks his head shyly. I don't think Two-Tooth would like it, not if he saw me training. I've taken enough licks from him to last the rest of my lifetime. I'm gonna hit him harder now. Don't let your guard down! The scramble and a surprising yelp, he barely dodges the third of your blows, first two knocking him backwards on his feet. Panting, he regains himself, avoiding your exaggerated and slowed strikes until he swells enough to continue to punch back. Enough confidence to punch back. Good enough, good enough. Strike him again! Oh, I got wrath with the Scarlet Chorus for helping him. He cringes, tensing reflexively from the force of the strike, but does better against the next one and the next, eventually avoiding most and managing to return a fist or a boot in a few times you allow for an opening. He throws all of himself into the training, courage, improving until he's left panting and exhausted and newly bruised, his thin woolen shirt drenched to his back in sweat. Eventually he wipes the matted bangs from his eyes and offers you a grateful grin. I won't forget my training, Master Fatebinder. I'll keep fighting and struggling, and I'll get stronger. I can do it. I believe in myself till there's nobody who can push me around. And he totters swiftly away. Good to know, Vittles. Best of luck. Two-Tooth. Gang boss, don't care. Okay, those are the people. I guess they just don't have a... Snigler. Snigler Dragos. Come here. Ah, good. Okay, hold on. I'm going to loot your wares, and I'm going to sell them back to you. Hammer. Scarlet Fury leather armor, I think. Let's take a look at that. She has blood, Scarlet. Okay, so she's still better than the base level stuff. Alright, let's see your wares. I have a few things to sell. Scarlet Chorus leather armor. Scarlet Fury. Fire Eye Stone. Yes. Oh, more fire control. Emerald Pen. Regens health every second? Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. That's the Twisted Iron Sword. So one-handed, it's not very useful, so I'm gonna sell that. And Cleansing Charm gives me immunity to being poisoned, also useful. Road bracers I can sell. Still the whetstone as well. She's got the short bow, bronze hammer, and the Scarlet Fury armor. None of which I need. And that I've kind of sorted through already. I get rid of the nobleman's bracers. She can have that pot. Okay. And I'm going to trade everything for every healing potion he's got. Trade. I've already got all my camping supplies, which I'm not doing. Alright, so no new weapons or anything really that significant. Let's take a look at my inventory, though. Okay, so what do I have equipped already? +1 quickness on verse. Immunity to be poisoned. I'm gonna switch to my guy. Yeah, I'm gonna give him actually both of these trinkets. Yeah, I got a freaking skull face now. That's awesome. I'm not hiding the helmet. What is this? Oh, I can change. Yeah, I don't care about changing my colors, even though I don't think I look that great with the white. Okay. Fifth Eye, how can we help? The Binder of Tunon arrives. Squealing with a teenager's timbre, the Fifth Eye's voice makes your gums itch and your fingernails feel in need of a trim. Yeah, that's awesome. And we just finished having a bit of sport with some captives, but not to worry. We'll have more fun with another batch momentarily. Dressed in bronze-red regalia of the Crimson Spears, the Fifth Eye beckons you to stand close, wagging a blood-spattered glove. Now that you have issued this edict and doomed us all to die, you have come to help us climb out of this hole. I trust you're getting your warriors ready for battle. We know the Oathbreakers are focused in the citadel beneath the mountain spire, but we've learned that this is not their only nest. He waves a hand in the air with a high-pitched squeal of displeasure. He sounds like, did you ever watch the Joker from the animated Batman cartoons? That's the voice, right? The Mark Hamill Joker voice. That's how I imagine him sounding. Given their pattern of attacks, they must have a second group maintaining a camp here in the Outer Valley. Unless we deal with this second group, they'll attack from behind the moment we cross the river. I'm going to kind of just give him a little hell about it, right? Because that's my job here, is to light a fire under their asses. So I'm going to get mad at him about having this army and not being able to do it. I'm hurt. Insult my manners and maturity, but do not insinuate that I sit idle when there's blood to be shed. We have dealt with countless Oathbreakers, but one group remains at large in spite of our best effort. Captain Pelox's crew consistently evades and kills our gangs. Oh, so you need some help. And while a good old-fashioned slaughter would be an efficient solution, the smarter answer is not to kill them, but add their strength to ours. My last group of scouts returned with a new batch of prisoners. One of these claims she can lead us to the Vendrian Guard's secondary camp, though there are shreds of deception in her voice. Yeah, I'm not particularly smart, so I'm worried that I will probably fall into a trap. I could use your help questioning this Vera Kell. Perhaps you will get less screams and tears and more useful information out of her. If we knew where to ambush the Oathbreakers, we could try and take their captain. Show him the wisdom of joining the chorus. Yep, I'll speak to him. I'll meet you there. She's waiting by the other prisoners. Yep. Oh, I think we saw where they were. Okay. Yeah, I knew these prisoners were going to come in and be part of it. Pantry. Okay. Fifth Eye has to authorize it. I like his burning staff, though. Choirman, let the Fate Binder speak with our catch of the day. Please, someone. I wish to bow before the voices of Nerat. I thought all could find redemption in the chorus. A woman, in the makeshift armor of the Vendrian Guard, lunges forward in agony. Her soiled, trembling legs suggest she has been forced to stand for days. Remember, guys, we are the bad guys in this universe. The heroes failed to stop the Overlord, who has now taken over all of the world, and this is the last settlement to fall. Actually, it already fell, and then they rebelled. This one, he flippantly waves at the prisoner, was hollering earlier that she knows the location of the Veneering Guard encampment, but she isn't being entirely honest. I told this thing that I wanted a guarantee. I'd live and be welcomed into the chorus as a captain and then talk. Otherwise, they'll just kill me once I've opened up. I was dumb enough to join the Veneering Guard, but I'm not dumb enough to give away my bargaining bronze. Yeah, I don't know. Why should I trust you? Or maybe the bigger one, like, why would you change your mind? Yeah, change your mind. Because I want to live, and you don't need to be the Archon of Premonitions to know that the Younger Realms are gone for good. Right, yeah. Kyros is the new strength of the Tears. I would rather stand with his Archons than be crushed by them. Why would I trust you? I suppose I have no answer for that. When I joined the Veneering Guard, I accepted their broken vow unto myself. Have you not felt the passion for a foolish cause? One you later came to regret? Well, my surrender is sincere, and I'm willing to bow before the voices of Nerat. Alright, I'll see what I can do to release you. I heard the chorus is looking for Captain Pileus Florin and his crew, and I can lead you to them, but only if you release me. I'll use my athletics. This could be useful, but I think I'll just kind of intimidate her into it. Alright, gained 40 athletic skill experience. Well, you see, shaken by your demand, her lips move wordlessly. So I don't know exactly where the rest of the crew is, but I can tell you, she shakes her head, catching her breath. Search that one. She reaches up with her right leg and points with her foot, calling attention to a nearby pile of corpses. The tall, dark one, missing most of his face. Check his left boot. He was the literate one in our crew. He had the orders. With a snap of his finger, a pair of choirmen yank the boot off the fallen guardsman. A rolled parchment slides out from the boot and is thrust into Fifth Eye's hands. He unfurls the scroll and to give it a read. It's nonsense, just a mash of words. She said she had information. She gives us garbage. Slay this wretch for taking up our time. I heard her say she'd swear fealty to the voices, right? So I'm also an agent of the law, and so I'm gonna, basically try to uphold that. Not good. Earn some wrath. How am I doing with these guys? Oh, not bad. I'm almost even, right? I'm barely below tier 1 on favor, and just barely above it on tier 1 on wrath. Seeing as you're an expert on the subject of fate, I will entertain your wisdom on the matter. What, then, would you propose we do with her? Test her loyalty? So there's an agent. Right, so we've learned from the discussions we've been having that actually the chorus is having problems where the guards that they let kind of be autonomous are defecting back, so I don't want to send her back, and I don't want to... I can work her until she's broken, but I think I'd actually just test her loyalty. Kill these guardsmen. She looks at the prisoners, wants her allies, and closes her eyes as her bonds are untied. The onlookers snicker and cheer as the heavy rock is placed in her hands. Mouthing something inaudible, she lifts the rock high above her head and smashes it down on the prisoner's skull. Wincing back a scream as she hoists the stone over her head a second time to finish the job on the prisoner. The bloody rock hits the ground, and Varaya slumps to her knees in defeat a moment later. Alright. Brutal. Brutal. Good. Welcome to the Scarlet Chorus. Do not fail us. Where's a slave to clean up the offal when you need it? Right, so she's now been initiated. We're no closer to finding the Oathbreaker's position, not with this cryptic mess. She promised us answers, and all she gave us was gibberish.
Sorry to interrupt, but I highly doubt it's gibberish. More likely, it's one of the local scripts.
Oh, this is the other prisoner. Lantry. Who's part of Lantry. Okay. The voice comes from another prisoner tied up next to Variah. An older gentleman with quills and ink vials, parchment and scrolls. Finds one of the sages... Oh, he's a sage of the School of Ink and Quill, which was one of the defeated other realms. The one we didn't go to when we chose to go to Azure instead of going to the Citadel, which is where these guys were from. Ink smudges over his cheeks and temples and ears. His clothes appear charred. Between the rips of fabric, you spot burn scars on his arm. Despite being emaciated and tied to a post, he offers a beaming smile. Can you read this?
I'm Sage Lantry, one of the hired quills that was coordinating missives between the Vendrian Guard captains. They aren't paying me anymore and aren't coming to my rescue. So I'll decipher that parchment for you. That's what smart prisoners do, right? Make themselves useful?
Alright. So... he's literate, he's hired to do things, right? Like you said, he was hired by the Vendrian Guard. I guess that literacy, right? This is kind of a medieval fantasy realm, so literacy is rare. And he's there to do words. I'm going to check it myself first, because if he's trying to trick us, I'd like some heads up. Okay, unroll the parchment, see a message in modest length, written with professional, albeit hasty penmanship. The tearsmen speak the canto, just like the Northerners, but they have half a dozen different ways of writing it. This particular script is unknown to me. All right, someone asked him.
Well, let me see. I can't.
So, useless.
I don't know exactly what it says, but I'm half certain that's Sage Selwyn's handwriting. I'm sure I could decipher that in a few hours' time. Don't need my hands free, but I think better when not tied to a post. I know, I'm weird that way.
Alright, if he's voiced, he's got to be somebody important, so let's keep going with this. A few hours, either you can read it or you cannot. What use is a sage that doesn't know his letters? I've heard all I need to hear. I say we have some fun with this one. I'm going to try to give him a few hours, but I'm going to push him to do it now. Depends on translating the scroll now.
I would love to help. I just need some time. That's written in another sage's shorthand. I'd have to sit down with it, or better yet, compare it to a piece of his writing I have stashed on me somewhere. If I sat down with it while sufficiently sober, it's highly probable I'd figure it out.
Sober? Since when do we share the good stuff with the prisoners?
Oh, nobody shared. Right before I was taken prisoner, I imbibed several vials of reagents. I wanted to be numb and disconnected when my captors used me for carnal catharsis. It's made these last few days tied to a post almost enjoyable.
Gosh. Alright, I'm going to give him a few hours. You read the edict. I don't need to tell you the sundial is working against us. Oh, you read the edict. This addled old bag is just trying to stall us. Alright. I'm gonna invoke the authority of his boss, right? He'll be upset to know you squandered a source of intelligence. How true. Then we shan't put him to waste. He will serve as a most riveting source of amusement as we put him on trial.
Fatebinder, I beseech you, be my advocate for this trial. I'm no fool. I know the chorus uses blood, not words, to settle these matters. But you are a servant of the Archon of Justice, are you not?
Okay, fine, I'll do it.
Good. I like it when Tunon's puppies get their paws dirty.
And I'm not afraid of a little blood. Scarlet Chorus favor. Did you hear that, brothers and sisters? Raising his arms to the sky, that fifth eye roars, all nearby. Trial by combat is upon us. He's unbound from his post, his legs nearly buckle as he attempts to walk. He's wiping the sweat from his brow. He steps close to me with a nervous smile. Rhythmic roaring and stomping of hundreds of feet in unison flooding the camp. Hordsmen begin to circle and swirl about, brandishing weapons and cheering. Begin the chant of gathering. Let the warriors know that tonight's entertainment will soon commence. Awesome. I'm gonna freaking have to fight. Maybe I should have been the pit fighter instead of the warrior. Brothers and sisters, who amongst you sets the standard for strength? Who amongst you will help winnow the weak from the strong? Who's coming forward? Oh, I hope it's what's-her-name from before. Our claimants have been assembled. Now let the trial of the Oathbreaker begin. Oh, okay. Got it. Who are we fighting? This is, I think, Scarlet Fury, the Horde. Okay, what does this guy do? First of all, let's give him his wounds. So magic. Resolve, accuracy, bonus to one defense. Let's give him spell strength. Just straight up spell strength. Save. And then, oh, he's got preservation magic. He's a healer. Done. Gifted healer 1. Let's do penetrating throw. Interesting. Rapid strikes or penetrating strike through. I'm gonna go with the rapid strikes. It's actually weapon damage. I'm gonna do pure utility. Save. Alright. So he has some attack. He's gotta be ranged. Here's your job. Quicken me. I have to drag it over me. Quicken me. Renew me. Give me the Titan's Touch. Give me the... Just give me all the things. And then, like, attack this ranged one. Okay. She's got her bow. So I'm going to use her to do this. Meanwhile, I am going to sunder the one right in front of me. Cleave. And thrust. Let's see how this goes. Nice. Okay, we're crushing it. He's a little bit hurt, so I'm gonna have him quicken. Whatever. I'll just have to try and be alive. Shoot this way. Thrust this way.
On it.
Right, you've got ranged attack. Get in on this. Oh, it's a combo ability. They're all combo abilities. Oh, and Verse has one too. Alright, Verse. Death from above. Let's do our combo ability. I see. That's why. So this is just a good
work.
Nicely done. By the righteous shedding of blood, we have found our answer. Regrettably, it appears the sage is worthy of leaving our camp alive. So combos are going to be huge, then. That's going to be awesome. Fifth Eye offers a short, mocking blow to Lantry. By the custom set forth by the voices of Narat, you're free to go, old man. Brag to your grandkids that you fell afoul of the chorus and lived to tell the story. Yeah, I mean, I'm still questioning if he's worth it. Gracious Fatebinder, I am humbled that you would put yourself at risk for me, and I assure you, you have my full obedience and cooperation. Yeah, no voice acting there. But he is in my party, so we... Obviously, the two prison methods give you a party member. Healer, I'm DPS, she's kind of rogue and range DPS. Really hope we get a tank. I thought I'd die tied to that post. And now, hand me that parchment. I'm certain I can decipher it. Good times. Well, much of the parchment was weathered, but I could make out the important parts of the text. It makes mention of a meeting spot west of Tripnittle. Okay. So the old sage knows his words after all. I'd ask that you travel ahead and see if you can't get this Captain Florin to yield to the chorus. They will strike at first sight of a chorus gang, but perhaps they will parley if yours is the face they see. I know the area. I suggest we go at once. I'll show you the way. I'm eager to be far from the stench of this camp. I'm gonna say, like, hey, there's a lot of fight in him. He's asking to join us. I've met sages every bit as cutthroat and as a hardened gang boss. They act the part of doddering scribes, but don't let that fool you. Smart for someone your age to be so mistrusting. I'm not with the Oathbreakers, if that's what you're fishing at. I've worked for them under duress, but I've no love for them. I'm not about to pledge to the Chorus, and the disfavored wouldn't have me. Still, I consider myself a Kairos-fearing vassal of the Overlord's empire all the same. Right, I like that, especially as an agent of the Empire, more than a member of the Chorus or the disfavored. For as long as I've been a sage, I've been trained to defend myself. We don't spend all our time binding books and sketching wildlife, just most of it. For centuries, we've been in a quiet war with the School of Tides and the School of Wild Wrath. You can't travel alone as much as I do and not know the Bronze Dance. Okay, good to know. Yeah, good to know. Oh no, I'd like to think I'm worth at least 3 or 4 angry peasants in a fight. Alright, then where it is. I'd make myself useful, I'm not half as fragile as I look. I can't very well just loaf about here with the Chorus. The Chorus wouldn't mind. You have most of your teeth. A pretty mouth like yours will make it a favorite here in the camp. Gangs aren't picky. Swear fealty to me, and I will let you leave this place. If that is your price, I will pay it. I, Sage Lantry, of the School of Ink and Quill, do pledge my services and scheme to the Fatebinder, and by extension to the Court of Tunon. He dips into a steep bow before rising with a solemn smile. I know I may seem old and frail, but I do know how to step lightly and how not to get killed. Really, I won't slow you down. Lead the way and let me know if I can be of service. I almost wonder if I should have talked to the leaders before and built my party before I did those other quests. Are we done here? Let's hightail it to Trip Nettle. If your new pet doesn't behave himself along the way, I'm not above clipping his ears. Alright, so that's updated. Let's travel to Trip Nettle. I want to look at his... Well, I leveled up. Let's do that first. We have 1 point. Health, I think, is very useful, even though we now have our healer. Let's take a look at our skill tree. We have 1 point to spend. Cleave. Stances are good, right? More focused and powerful strikes or rapid strikes. I could start putting stuff in somewhere else, right? I don't need shield mastery, but I can do interrupts with thrust. I don't need shield slam. No. Leadership might be good. Mark an enemy. What else do we have? Magic. I don't care about magic. I'm just going to keep going down the power tree. So I have Sunder will cause stunning. I'm going to add my two-handed mastery, right? Increases my weapon damage, allows basic attacks to strike multiple times. And then these guys, what does he got? Quill and preservation, right. So let's look at what he has. So Quill Strike is a ranged strike. What is his weapon? Yeah, he's got his Quill. Alright. Greater Renewal. Gives me +1 armor and 2 armor penetrated by attacks. So that's just like a little buff to defense and offense. Quicken. He heals the Fatebinder with the surge of restorative energy. The burst of energy is so invigorating that Fatebinder is also hastened, right? So that's pretty useful. Restoring Touch is his heal. And Titan's Touch, Vitality and Might. So really, I should probably just Titan's Touch, Quicken, and then, you know, Renewal, something like that. Or Titan's Touch, Renewal, Quicken. And she's got this new one, which I didn't see last time, Death from Above, which is pretty darn cool. But I've got to be there to fling her up. And it tells you who the party members are that can do it, right? So Lantry can't really do anything with her. What she got there? Oh, Secret Sheath. It's accuracy, which is fine. Does he have stances? He does not. Okay, he's got some potions. Very good. Alright, gather your party. Let's venture forth. Let's go here. This is the closest one. Alright, so where's the new spot? So we went right by it. Earned its title from a preponderance of thick, stinging nettles. Let's go over there. 6 hours. We can do this. Ambush. Oh no. Alright, let's handle the ambush. I figured there'd be some travel issues that could come in here. Alright, let's see what we're dealing with here. Ooh, mage.
That's far enough, Fatebinder.
A woman's voice booms from atop a nearby outcropping. Flashes of aquamarine body paint peek out from under her loose-fitting traveler's garb, which is an indicator that she's from the School of Tides. So I guess like water magic, maybe? Flanked on either side by warriors dressed in Vendorian Guard, which is also a symbol of the Tearsman.
Tunon sends us the Queenslayer. The old judge has a sense of humor, I'll give him that. In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal.
Unwise
As unwise as setting foot on our lands with dreams of conquest. If you're afraid of a few words, go ahead and run. Idiots and very young children are often afraid of me, so I understand if you need to retreat and soil yourself in private. I am Ebb of the School of Tides, and today I speak on behalf of the Vendrian Guard. No way around that fact. The Vendrian Guard broke their oath. Is a promise to a man-eating beast a promise that needs to be kept? The people of Apex surrendered to spare themselves wanton murder.
This is true.
A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
Yeah, no, he's dead. I'll just be honest with him. He's dead.
I see. That is as I feared, but thank you for telling me all the same. I prefer closure to wishful thinking. If I may make one more inquiry, what of Palox Tyrell? Did he survive?
Oh, he's also dead. Not slowly saying nothing.
My apologies, Fatebinder. I had a terrible feeling this errand was in vain from the start. I had no expectations that our friends could be saved, as I'm sure the time for swapping prisoners is long gone. But at least I know of what became of them. That'll have to be enough.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't find what you were seeking. I have questions
I will
for
entertain them as best I can. After all, understanding is the only hope we have. What is it you wish to know?
Yeah, why do you resist?
I grew up without my knee bent to Kairos, and if I'm going to bow to someone, let it be another Tearsman. We've ruled ourselves just fine for centuries, so we'll give our lives so that our sons and daughters might rule themselves.
Yeah, I don't know what the best answer is. I would probably just say that, you know, you'd rather live in a state of constant war.
You make conflict sound like a bad thing. Yes, the Younger Realms saw frequent battles, but it was never this wholesale slaughter like we've seen of late. No Tearsman ever cast an edict on the soil, or forced prisoners to kill each other, or butchered beastmen tribes.
Fine, but what about equality?
There's freedom, then there's trusting idiots with power. Give a man 1,000,000 marauders, he'll lose sleep worrying over his neighbor's 1,000. I prefer my realms ruled by the braver sex. For centuries we've left the lands to the women, and the seas to the men. And we did plenty fine until Kairos came around.
Yeah, what about how they treat the mages?
I doubt life is any better sworn to some mad Archon. I'd rather stand with my fellow Tearsmen. Or, I suppose, stand immediately behind them in the event of an attack.
And soldiers exchange looks while she turns to them.
Yeah, you heard me. Way things were years back, you'd all be calling me a water witch and conspiring to sell me out to the nearest sage. Just because I'm helping you stop Kairos doesn't mean I've forgotten the hospitality of ages past.
I freaking turn this lady, although she won't get along with the other mage.
And people wonder why the Tearsmen could never unite in time to fight back. It's refreshing to see that some things never change.
This is true. What makes you think you have any chance?
We don't. Those who believed Kairos could be stopped all died years ago, in the first wave of fighting. It's not about the hope of victory. It's about the hope of inspiring others. It is very likely we will fall here in Vendrian's Well.
Why don't we just
But
tell her about
perhaps
the edict?
others will arise elsewhere.
Okay, let me ask you something else. Who's leading?
Listen to you. Thinking just like the Overlord wants you to think. There always has to be a person in charge or things don't make sense. Well, we don't answer to anyone. We are each of us sons and daughters of the Tears, and take this task upon ourselves freely. But Captain Tarkus Ari, former Falksman of Queen Vendrian Alanta, is the voice we trust when we seek unanimity.
Fair enough. How'd you overthrow the
I would
garrison?
joke that the voices of Narat left the gate unlatched, but dozens of warriors lost their lives taking the Citadel. There is no secret to it. We simply attacked with speed and certainty at a time when the Archons were elsewhere in the Tiers. The Scarlet Chorus had a rout, and what few disfavored soldiers were present made an impressive showing. But they were surrounded and overwhelmed once the Chorus fled.
Alright, and yeah, are they related?
Yes. Deimos was Ari's brother. We were certain he was dead, but the captain takes family seriously. So I volunteered to find some answers. And now here we are.
Fine, I mean, did they ever swap prisoners
That is our
before?
way, Binder. Here in the South, only thugs and bandits kill prisoners. The younger realms may be guilty of constant fighting, but we never slay each other when the battle's long over. We're not about to change that now.
Okay.
As a rule, Kairos' forces haven't been keen on swapping prisoners. But I know our disfavored prisoners aren't prisoners anymore. I just assumed they were swapped for some of our own.
That is all.
Fair enough. But now a question for you.
Okay.
The Edict. I can feel its magic coursing through the air. Everyone can. But those of us enlightened to the currents of magic feel it most. The wording of the Edict. What was it?
Yeah. You are all going to die unless we win.
Curious. You did say all in the valley. So the Edict will affect Kairos' forces? This is most unexpected.
Correct.
That is most troubling. So either the soldiers come to destroy and kill us, or the Edict does the work. I suppose we should be so honored the Overlord is taking no chances on us.
I guess. Or maybe you should just give up.
I've another question for you, if you will entertain it.
Sure.
Are we really standing here and chatting with Oathbreakers? It's hard to watch. Like cuddling a goat you're going to kill for dinner.
Can it
When I
worse?
was young, my parents told me the Tears were special, and the Overlord's edicts and armies could never touch us. Seems I've been told a hefty sum of lies. So answer this honestly for me, please. Is it true that Tunon's fate binders can smell truth from falsehood?
No.
Thanks for that. I could see why you'd want to foster the mystique all the same. The School of Tides would always tell commoners we didn't know how to summon drinkable water. Once they find out, you can't eat in peace.
So you would deny people clean drinking water because you didn't want to be pestered.
And Kairos' edicts. I have heard the sages speak at length that some of the edicts elsewhere in the world have been broken. How is this?
Honestly, I have no idea, and I lack the lore to explain it. But I don't know. So yeah, he only knows.
Ah,
details.
so some edicts are forever. The rest are, as long as Kairos has in mind? Needless to say, Kairos' magic is unlike anything we've seen in any Archon.
Indeed.
You'll forgive, I hope, the questions. The Overlord and his Archons used to be things of legend. Now they're everyday maladies, and I'm eager to separate the truth from the lies I've been told by house and guild.
Okay, fair.
In accordance to our most ancient customs, let us depart in honorable accord. May peace find you, Fatebinder.
I'm thinking we could turn her. Well, we're a little bit past an hour. I think it's a good spot to stop. Little loose rock here. Azure Bell, hit, deflection, parry, and finesse. And blood moss immunity from bleeding. 50 defense against bleeding. Okay, that's great. Anything else? it says. Grassland of the tiers stretch far throughout the land, much of it remains uninhabited, unclaimed by any faction. Here's some. Marshberry, move speed, quickness, and dodge, and more blood moss. You can make out the faintest outline of a soldier's arm at the bottom of the pond, the victim of a previous battle.
On it.
On it.
How'd you take a look at that?
You got some subterfuge. Okay, it doesn't look like there's anything else to loot. Get this last corner. And we will call it quits for this episode. So, I'm Quade. This has been Tyranny, episode... Gosh, what are we on now? 3, I suppose. We are on our way to try to either recruit or maybe even kill off the last of the Vendrian guards on the outskirts of the valley. And then it's probably on to gather a 4th party member and then assault the Citadel. So, yeah. Best of luck. I'll see everybody later.